been thinking about your financial future and how you can secure it by investing, but do not know where to start? Tonight, we share with you an investment option that is safe and is usually overlooked by people starting their investment portfolios. Welcome to First Issues. More times than not, when people think about investments, the first things that come to mind are usually unit trusts, bonds, stocks, and perhaps even trading currency. All of these may come off too sophisticated and intimidating, especially when all one has are limited funds. So, what to do? Real estate. Considered one of the safest options to invest in, property, especially rentals, has been hailed the simplest way to gain passive income for investors. Tonight, we help you, our Motswana viewer at home, understand why and how you can go about investing in property with real estate enthusiast Neltah Mosimanegape of Tempest Gold Realtors. Neltah, thank you so much for coming on First Issues and affording us your time. We are talking to you today about property being a viable investment option that one can look into. So my first question to you is, what type of real estate can a person look into to invest their money? Especially people who don't necessarily have a lot of money, are not looking for anything sophisticated. Focus your deliberation to the ordinary Motswana kohai.
Thank you so much for having me, Panatako. It's such an honor and a privilege to be here. As mentioned, my name is Neltah Mosimanegape. I'm the founder and managing director of a company called Tempest Gold. We specialize in property agency, property evaluations, property management, as well as advisory services, such as what you're actually discussing right now, what it is that Botswana can invest in when they do not have a lot of money. Because there's a misconception that real estate is only for people with a lot of money. You'd have to qualify for a certain level of mortgage, but not everyone can qualify. Not all of us have a high salary to actually start developing our own properties. But what I would advise Botswana to look into, you can start small. You can start with investing into a listed real estate company. There are a lot of companies, a few companies which are development and real estate focused on the BSE that Botswana can take advantage of. The shares are quite affordable, and that's how you can start your journey, especially if you're young and maybe you're in university, for example. You don't have a lot of startup capital. So that is definitely one option. Another popular option, which is actually coming up, and I think it's a fantastic idea that Botswana are trying to nurture, Motswana property, as they call it. So I get regret sometimes you'd have Motsalo, and then at the end of the year, we buy at Christmas, here and there. So with Motsalo property, it's pretty much the same concept. You'd have 10 to 15 individuals or more who will come together, contribute a certain amount of money every single month, and then at the end of the year they can buy a piece of property and then carry on with pooling their funds together and then developing the project. So that is also a very viable method of Botswana kohai babalekang who similar into real estate to also explore. And lastly, what is expensive? Real estate the expensive real estate is the one in the urban areas, in the Greater Gaborone areas. I would advise Botswana to also look at the rural areas. When we're looking at the Greater Gaborone regions, places such as Muchudi, Boatle, Boramozwa, back in the days were considered villages, and they were very, very affordable. Now, as we see the city growing bigger, places such as Odi, Muchudi, Boruretse, they are now, the value of the property is now going up. So what I would say to Motswana, look for a plot or a property in what is considered a rural area. And once the city keeps on growing and expanding, wow, in 5 years, when you plot the way for say 40,000 pula, it's probably going to be worth 160,000 pula. And that will be a good return on investment if you want to dispose of the property or if you want to just keep it as a part of your portfolio. Well, the option that is quite popular, especially also in places that have quite a lot of space. Because you could find a plot that was probably 4,000 square meters, and it's too much space for a household. So what Botswana have done, island, 1 room, 1 bed, 2 rooms, which is affordable housing, low cost housing, which the blue collar people or students can also afford, ranging from 600 to 1,000 pula. It's a starter pack, if I can call it that, and that's something that Botswana can also use to grow that portfolio. You don't have to start building 34 kana 36. You can start with one, gather some money, save maybe 6 months rent from that one, make another one, develop the third one, develop a fourth one, until you reach that position whereby you have passive income and all the expenses now are covered through the rental that is coming in.
There's a understanding that property is one of the safest investment vehicles or options that one could ever consider. Why is that, in your professional opinion?
There's quite an interesting quote that says real estate is the only investment that cannot be carried. No one can take it from you physically. I can really say, for example, a car. Someone can steal your car, Yes, we do have incidences whereby land is stolen, but just in the grand scheme of things, real estate is safe in the sense that most of the time it does accumulate in value. Your plot today or your development today, if it's say 600,000 pula, in a year or two, if you value it, it's probably going to be more. The majority of the time it does increase in value, which makes it quite a safe investment vehicle. And another point that we did point out, passive income, it's safe in the sense that people always want accommodation. Accommodation is a need, and if you're providing accommodation, if people are there, you're always going to have that rental coming in, which is why I think it makes it very safe.
As somebody who also offers advisory services on most things to do with everything to do with real estate, what do you think are those considerations that people who are looking to go into this venture of investing into property need to be aware of? What must be their primary focus?
When you're looking at investing into property, just as if you're looking at doing anything that requires a professional, if you need legal advice, where do you go? You go to your lawyer. If you need medical assistance, where do you go? You go to a doctor. If you want to start your property investment journey, go to a real estate professional. We offer advisory services, and that's what I'd want Botswana Kohai to start. That should be your starting point. If you're not well versed or conversant in real estate, approach a real estate practitioner. Ask them for advice. Usually it's at a fee, but the consultancy, it's going to benefit you more than if you just go out there and purchase a plot or size run just for you to say making a plot. Because yes, get a plot, but make sure that there's a return in your investment. Don't just buy a plot for the sake of saying, oh yes, I have a plot, I have property. But what are you doing with that property? Yes, you might be leaving a legacy, but it's also an asset that can make you that can help you generate income. So my first and my only advice, really, let's start with getting the right professionals. We have the Real Estate Institute of Botswana. I sit as the vice president for that institution, as well as the Real Estate Advisory Council. You can approach them to get a list of all the professionals that can help you in your real estate journey. And of course, you can contact Tempest Gold. We'd be happy to assist you as well.
This program was brought to you in association with First National Bank of Botswana.